Hello, thank you for joining us for this webinar. We're excited that you got started with ACN and we're excited to help you start building your customer base. My name's Kristen Levere and I'm from Las Vegas, Nevada. And getting started with ACN was the best decision that I've ever made in my life. Not only because of what it's done for me and my family financially and the freedom and stability that that's created, but just being a part of this community and being a part of this culture has caused incredible growth for me, and I'm so thankful of the person that I've become and the parent that I've become and the friend and just the businesswoman that I've become as a result of being plugged into this environment and learning from some of the most amazing people in the world. And so the very first step we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and download the Building Your ACN Customer Base document. If you don't already have that in front of you, there's a button that you can click right beside me that will send you to that document. So go ahead and download that and we'll get you started building your residual. All right, you should have downloaded this document, Building Your ACN Customer Base. If you were unable to do that, that's fine. As long as you have a pen and paper, you'll be fine. So we're gonna walk through this step by step. The very first step is get licensed as an independent contractor with ACN. If you haven't already done so, go ahead and contact the person that introduced you to ACN and showed you this business model and ask them what their IBO number is, or their independent business owner number. You're going to need this as you're getting started. And we're going to go to acninc.com and click Start Today. And go ahead and fill out all your 1099 information that you're going to need. Make sure that the address that you put for yourself is the same as the billing address for the card that you're going to be using, because once you get to the payment screen, you won't have the ability to change the address. So we want to make sure that matches up ahead of time. And once you have all that information in there and submitted, you will be given your very own independent business owner number. Congratulations. Welcome to the team. I joke around that my IBO number is my new social security number, because I'm not even certain that there will be social security by the time I'm able to take advantage of it. So congratulations, welcome to the team. We're so excited to have you. We're so excited to help you start building that residual income for you and your family. The very first step will be to start your set up your IBO back office. If you're not on that screen, you can go to myacn.acninc.com and click on first time login, and you're going to enter in your IBO number. And you're also going to create a password for yourself. And the password does have to be 6 to 10 characters, and it must include one letter and at least one number, okay? Now that you're inside, I'm going to let you navigate that on your own time. You'll have a lot of fun going through that. There's so many resources that are available. But just know that on the left-hand side where it says My Points, that's where it tracks all your personal customers, and it helps you stay very organized there. You're going to see where it says your online storefront. And you're going to click Activate, and we're going to set up your online store. You can name it whatever you'd like. Most people at the beginning, they just name it their name, because you can change it at any time. But the site will be yourname.acndirect.com. And once you have that set up, we're going to scroll right over to where it says your Essential Services Survey, and you're going to click Activate. And that will be the same name as your online store. And that will be yourname.services, the number 4, the letter U.com. I recommend getting the text alerts and setting it up to receive those, so when someone fills out their survey, it will actually send you a text letting you know to check out your emails to see those results. So just so you know the difference, yourname.acndirect.com is your storefront where people can go to see the different services that you offer, the different companies that we're partnered with, as well as all the packages and pricing that's available for them. So that's the place where they can go to shop. Your online survey is very different. There's a 1.5 minute video they can watch that explains what you're doing. And then there's also a survey that they can fill out. And once they submit it, it goes directly to you. And that way you can just look and see what they're spending and where they currently are with their own services and identify the areas that will be able to help them. So they're two completely different links. And now we'd like to make sure that you are accredited to offer energy in the United States, both natural gas and electricity. So below this video, you'll see the link for Zoom training. go ahead and click on that, and it will take you to a PDF file that will walk you through all of the rules and the regulations and the guidelines for offering energy in the United States. So go through that and get a good understanding. You can go ahead and go back to your home page, click on Zoom Energy Accreditation, answer a few questions, and you'll be accredited for energy. This is important because even if you don't know anyone currently in the states that we offer energy in, I can almost assure you that you're going to get a referral or you will meet somebody from one of those states. Now that you're licensed as an independent contractor with ACN, it's very different than having a job, where you're told what time to be there, what time to leave, how to think, how to act, what to do. It's a very different environment where there's the flexibility of being able to structure your own day and schedule things around your already existing schedule. And there's a lot of self-motivation that you have to have every day. You have to make these decisions to do these income-producing activities. So in order to motivate yourself daily, you have to be able to identify your why. So some questions I want you to ask yourself is, what motivates you beyond money? What's your driving force? Because when your why gets powerful, the how gets easy. Always remember that the how we do things is constantly changing with technologies, with social media, as we learn more about people. It's always changing, but your why always stays the same, and it's what drives you every single day. In your mindset, it's also very important to have a healthy understanding of what we do. Network marketing is a huge industry. I think people don't understand the power and the magnitude of what we have our hands on when they get started with ACN. U.S. network marketing sales do $28.8 billion a year. The NFL does $9 billion. So put that into perspective. U.S. network marketing reps in the United States, there's over 15 million of us. Globally, we do 180 plus billion a year, and 71.8% of the revenues for companies are generated by in-home face-to-face sales. Also, an average of 500,000 people join network marketing companies every week worldwide. So this is a huge, thriving industry, and you have great timing in becoming a part of it. Robert Kiyosaki calls it the business of the 21st century. Knowing these statistics and knowing the size of this industry, it's very important to understand that our role as independent contractors is to sort, not sell. People are where they are in life, and their timing is what it is. And we're not trying to convince anyone to do anything. We're not trying to convince someone to change their timing or to take advantage of something that they don't want. All we are is identifying where people are. There are going to be three types of people. The red apples are the people that are ready to become a business partner now. They're ready to become your customer now. They're ready to begin promoting for you now, and that's who you want to spend 80% of your time with. The green apples are going to be people that maybe have questions, and for them you just answer the questions and follow up and continue the process. The rotten apples are going to be people that maybe don't get back to you, maybe they ignore you, or maybe they don't like change, and no matter what you do or say or what your relationship is with them, they're not going to change anything in their lives. And that's fine. That's who they are. We're not trying to change them. We just have to identify who they are, and we want to spend 0% of our time convincing those people, because that is not our role. When you spend your time trying to convince people and trying to overcome objections, that can create a bit of an emotional roller coaster for you. Let me just break it down into its most basic form of what we do with ACN. We fill out our application to become a licensed independent contractor with ACN. And as we generate accounts for all the companies that we're partnered with, we receive bonuses and commissions. And we are also able to develop a team of independent contractors and help them go generate accounts. And by developing that team and empowering and enabling them to go generate accounts, we also make bonuses and commissions for that. ACN gives us all the tools and supplies and resources that we could possibly need to develop that team and to acquire these customers and support and maintain these customers. The only thing that we're required on our end to provide are the contacts. We have to go out, find our own contacts. And as we help our contacts, then the companies win, ACN wins, our customers win because they're receiving a lot of value and benefits. These children that we're helping to feed across the United States win, we as independent contractors and our teams win as well because we're able to create a substantial income. So as you experience challenges or questions or discouraging moments, just remember that you're going to be just fine. It's all part of the learning process, and there really is no such thing as failure. Even if you receive a negative response from someone, that's a great learning opportunity for you to find out what's really behind that so that you can become more effective moving forward in building your own customer base as well as in training a team to build a customer base if that's what you'd like to do. So don't get too emotional about everything. Just remember, all we got to do is find the right people and spend our time helping them and supporting them. And the more people we are able to serve, then the better income we'll be able to generate for our families. I see a lot of times people get really excited and they want to make business cards and they want to make their own flyers and they want to make their own everything. And those tools are effective and those resources they can be effective and they can be very useful for you. But don't mistake that activity for productivity. So what we're going to go over the next few minutes is productivity. It's going to be the activities that are income producing, and that will start building your bonus income as well as your residual income. But go ahead and click on bonus promotions and click on new IBO promotions. Now take a few minutes to read over that. If you have any questions on that, contact the person that got you started and ask them to clarify that a little bit. But we want you to know that as a new independent business owner, there are additional bonuses that are available to you on top of all the other bonuses that are normally available to existing IBOs. So I want to make sure you really understand all that's possible for you and your earning potential for this month over the next 30 days. Because the number one issue that people run into is they don't know. They didn't know that they could have gotten that quick start bonus. So make sure that you read that and you understand how to accomplish that so we can put together a game plan for you to accomplish that. And I'd also like you to pull up the compensation plan. Now, this is very advanced. It might take you a couple times of reading it. You might have a couple questions, but just know as you get started in this company and as you begin to work your way in advance through the positions, and really just as you experience more over time, the compensation plan and how it works and all the value that it has to offer and all the benefits of it, you'll really learn it as you're earning, as you're going. So the first form of revenue that we receive is our residual commissions. We get paid these monthly. Over time, the majority of your compensation will actually come from the residual income of your customers' monthly billings. So this is very important. Customer acquisition is truly the fuel for your business, and it's what creates long-term lasting income. And by teaching other people how to do the same thing, you continue to build residual income for yourself as well. So as you refer people to your online store, or as you connect people with the providers that they would like to take advantage of, you will give them your IBO number, and that IBO number will be attached to those accounts. And that's how they will know who to kick the bonuses and the commissions to. So if you have 1 to 29 customer points personally, then you will receive 1% of the billing volume of all your own personal customers. If you have 30 to 39 customer points, then you'll receive 3%. 40 to 59 customer points, you'll receive 5%. And 60 plus customer points, you'll receive a full 10% of all of the services that it took to get you there, as well as all of the services that you continue to acquire. You also get paid for developing a team of independent contractors as they go get services as well. So if you personally have 10 customer points, you get paid 0.25% on your first 2 levels of all of their billing volume. Once you've achieved 20 personal customer points, you receive 0.25% of the billing volume of your 3rd level and 0.5% of the billing volume of your 4th level. Once you have 40 personal customer points, you receive 3% of the billing volume on your 5th level and 5% of the billing volume on your 6th level. And once you've acquired 60 personal customer points, you receive 8% of the billing volume of all the customers on your 7th level. And obviously the company has to cut it off somewhere or they would go out of business. They can't just continue to pay infinitely. So the ultimate goal is to get a minimum of 60 points personally. That way you're receiving a full 10% on all the services that you acquire, as well as all that the possibility of earning on your team as well throughout all 7 levels. As you acquire customers and you develop a team that is also acquiring customers, you will earn different positions in ACN. The first position is Qualified Team Trainer. Now, to become a Qualified Team Trainer, you must have a minimum of 5 customer points and at least 3 services with one outside of your home. The next position is Executive Team Trainer, or ETT. You must acquire a minimum of 5 personal customer points plus 2 QTT legs, or you must personally have 15 customer points. Every time that you sponsor a new team trainer in your team that is on your first level, you are creating a leg, and that leg will begin to grow. So for the Executive Team Leader position, or ETL, you must acquire 15 customer points and 5 services with a minimum of 50 total customer points in your team with a maximum of 20 customer points per leg. Team Coordinator is the next position, or TC. You must have a minimum of 600 total customer points in your team with a maximum of 200 points per leg. Regional Director, or RD, requires 1 TC in 2 separate legs at any level and a third leg with at least 200 customer points. Regional Vice President, or RVP, requires you have 1 TC in 4 separate legs at any level. And once you achieve this position, it actually unlocks your residual below the 7th level. Senior Vice President is the position we are all striving to hit. You must have 1 TC or above in 6 separate legs, including at least 2 RVP legs and 1 RD legs. The reason why obtaining these positions is important as you're growing in ACN is because we actually pay out weekly customer acquisition bonuses. And these are paid out when your newly sponsored team trainers become qualified within 30 days of their start date. And so you can see at the ETT position, you can get $30 for sponsoring someone on your team and helping them to become profitable within their first 30 days, all the way up to $470 for doing the exact same thing at the Senior Vice President position. So what the company does is, as you become more valuable and become better at what you do and create a bigger customer base, then you are paid higher bonuses for doing the exact same thing. I personally recommend getting 75 personal customer points so that you can be a self-made executive team leader, and you can see how high that bonus jumps up. At the same time, you will maximize your residual earnings because you will have more than 60 points. And then when you personally sponsor 6 people, that creates 6 legs that will begin to grow. We want to help each of those 6 people do the exact same thing, get their 75 points and sponsor 6 people themselves. And in doing that, you're helping everyone to maximize their residual income, and you're also setting them up to hit the highest position in the company, which is a Senior Vice President position. But the main question is, well, how do I start building that customer base, and how do I start getting people licensed on my team? And that is what we're going to go over for the rest of this training. Customer acquisition leads to team building, which leads to team training, which leads to more customer acquisition, and it's just a beautiful cycle that keeps continuing. So key number 1 is obviously customer acquisition. We want to get you qualified. We also want to help you get 30 points in your first 30 days so you can become an executive team trainer and potentially hit your quick start bonus. And we also want to help you get 75 points in your first 60 days so you can become an executive team leader and maximize your residual incomes and receive a higher bonus as people are getting sponsored on your team. So the sources of your customers, first is going to be yourself for multiple reasons, which we'll explain. and then everyone else. And you're going to want to schedule a launch meeting, or watch this video within 24 hours of getting started. You can see this at theresidualteam.com/launch. Now, if you remember, we referred to those customer points you had to be able to hit the positions and also receive a higher residual income. This is kind of a cheat sheet for you. It's also on the back of your Building Your ACN Customer Base document. Go ahead and pause the video if you'd like and write down the different phone numbers and also their point values. So as you're sharing what you're doing with people, you're actually able to track what you're doing and work toward your goal of hitting your 75 points. I'm sure you can agree that a community of people all working together to support each other's economies can do so much more good than each of us working month to month, living week to week, just trying to survive and make it every month and pay the bills every month. So no matter what capacity people are partnering with you, whether they be a customer, you're helping them to get financial relief in your life, and they're helping your economy by helping to generate an additional revenue stream for you, as well as if they become business partners because they're helping you to build your organization and build your distribution, and you're helping them build a residual income as well by supporting them and working together to accomplish more. So keep that in mind as we're acquiring customers, that it really is not about savings and it's not about sales. It's really about relationships, and it's about a group of people working together and supporting each other and helping each other out. And that's the philosophy behind everything that we do. And I'll tell you something, if you want massive success in ACN, if you really want this to create some type of dramatic change for you and your family, find a way to serve the masses, because that's what's going to create that for you. So what I highly recommend as you're learning this process of getting customers is to do it yourself first. Number one, it will help you save money on the services that you're already paying for every single month. Number two, you'll be able to make money off of the services that you're already using every single month. And number three, you'll gain more confidence and you'll gain more motivation as you go through these processes yourself. And I think sometimes our mind or our expectations can be our biggest enemy, and they can cause us to procrastinate and they can cause us to hesitate. So by doing your own services, you eliminate that excuse right off the bat, and you realize this is really simple, this is really beneficial, and it gives you more confidence and a better posture as you're approaching other people about our services, because you already know what to expect because you've experienced it yourself. So go ahead and go to your online survey link and watch the video. When I first got started, that was my biggest fear, was having to try to explain to people what I was doing. It was kind of silly when I first started. I was like, hey, will you help me, pay your bills through me? And they would get so confused. And so I had to learn the hard way, but lucky for you, we have our online survey now. So literally all we do is we just approach people and ask people to help us build our customer base, and we'll be able to help them at the same time and have them fill out an online survey for you. So by walking through it first yourself and watching the very simple basic video that the company has provided for us that explains exactly what you're doing, then you'll know what others can expect as you send this link out and get it into other people's hands. And also walk through the process of answering the questions. Now, there are it's a very detailed survey, and not all the fields are required. So I always tell people, just answer it to the best of your knowledge. Like, it's just going straight to you. So it doesn't have to be perfect. It's okay if something's a little bit off. It's just your friends and family, so it's not that big of a deal. But we wanted it to be as detailed as possible, because the more information that you can get, the more it helps you identify where people are overspending, and also be able to offer something with a better value for them, something that's more beneficial for their situation and their circumstances. So go ahead and fill that out yourself. Analyze your own services and become your own customer first. And then we're also going to build a list of at least 100 names. Now, a lot of times that intimidates people, but I want you to remember that we're not calling 100 people. We're not, doing anything crazy. All we're doing is talking to a lot of the people that have had influence in our lives. So friends, family members, colleagues, co-workers, church members, people that you do business with, people from your past, maybe that you went to school with, or family friends. Those are the type of people that we want to approach. And people a lot of times ask me, well, why do you want me to go to my friends and my family first? And you really don't have to if you don't want to. But what I found is that they're very supportive, and they want you to have more for your family, and they want you to do well. And so it's really good learning process for you to work with the people that you really care about and that care about you, and to help them first. And you're learning these processes as you go, and that gives you a nice base of learning. And at the same time, these are the people that are closest to you, and they're probably people that will send you referrals as well, because they'll want to help you grow that customer base. The first step is just to start a conversation with people. Always know what your goal is. Don't just start posting links and blasting people about saving them money. A lot of people are going to think that your account got hacked, and they're just going to completely disengage and tune out to what you're trying to do. So just subtly let them know you're making a transition, you're making a shift, you know, some of the new stuff that you're involved in, and get them excited and get them on your team promoting for you. There are two ways that we do this. Number one, you can let them know either you started a business or you took a position with a company and you need help building your customer base. And you can even let them know what your why, why you want to build a residual income for yourself. Like, for example, I was working 2 full-time jobs, and I had a 3-year-old and a 5-year-old at the time, and I hardly ever saw them. And I think a lot of times we justify in life by saying we don't want more, but it's just because we don't believe we can go get more. And that's where I was. I had just kind of accepted that that was my lot in life until I found ACN and found that there was a better way and a better plan. And so when I was contacting the people that I cared about most, that also care about me, I just let them know I found a way out of the restaurant and I really need help growing my customer base. And will you do me a huge favor and take a look at what we're doing, and then we can see how we can help each other out. And it really was that simple. There really is no script that works for everyone. You just need to identify what fits you the best, and also what fits the person that you're talking to the best. The second is the promotion approach, which is just, hey, I took a position, I'm just a few customers away from a major promotion that will really help me out right now, but I have to qualify tonight by midnight. Would you do me a huge favor and become my customer? This is so important. It would really make a big difference for me and my family. We've even had people that are trying to hit their quick start bonus and say, hey, I need to get 30 points. Will you let me take a look at where you are so I can see what services will help me get to that 30 points so I can get this promotion that I'm working toward, or this bonus that I'm trying to hit. And another approach we use that I love is the charity approach, where we just simply tell people, hey, I'm working on a project that's feeding kids here in America, in the United States, and I'm really proud of what we're doing. Would you do me a huge favor and help us create a meal? This is so important. It would really make a big difference for me and many other families. A lot of people have questions, and that's where you can just tell them, well, I'm going to send you the link to an online survey that I have, and there's a 1.5-minute video there that will answer any questions that you have. And that way it takes that pressure off of you trying to explain. There were several people that I was afraid to approach to ask them to be my customer for that one reason alone, because I was afraid they were going to ask me a question that I didn't know how to answer. I was afraid they were going to say, just ask me something, and I wouldn't know what to say. So what's nice is we have this online survey so that if they do ask you a question, you can say, that's a great question. There's a 1.5-minute video that will explain what I'm doing and how it's not only benefiting me and my family, but how we're actually making a great social impact here in America. And just send them the link and let them watch the video. And then if they have questions from there, I'll tell you a little bit later on in this webinar how to address that. But once you've asked them for a favor and asked them to take a look at what you're doing and see how you can help each other, you send them the link. They're going to fill out the survey and press submit. The results will go straight to you and nobody else. And what you'll do is get with your leader, or you can even just do this by yourself. You could just go to your online store. You could see what they're currently paying, and you could see what we're charging and the prices and packages that we have for our different services. And then when I call them back, it's very simple for me. I just straight up tell them, hey, I have great news. I was able to review your survey, and I'd love to go over what I found with you. And so I don't tell them anything specific. You can use whatever you feel most comfortable saying. I know different people are different, but I just like to get on the phone with them and get them connected to these different companies right away. I don't want to be asked questions on the pricing, and I don't want to be asked questions on the packages, because all that information's online. So what I want to do is just get back in contact with them and let them know, hey, I found out that we could help you with your TV and your cell phone and also your home security. I'd love to get you on the phone, and they'll give you a customized quote. So that's the method that we've been using to get customers. Once again, I'm huge on the Project Feeding Kids cause in the initiative. I truly believe that it is a way that every single household and business in America can contribute to really an epidemic, as there are 17 million hungry children every single day. So I always let people know, hey, by supporting me and by helping me build this for my family, you're also helping us to feed hungry children here in America. At acncompass.com, there's a certificate that you can print out. You can write their name on, and you can even give them a certificate. I love to use social media to thank people. Thank you so much for helping us feed kids. You're the best. Hashtag Project Feeding Kids, whatever it may be. There are more examples of language that you can use, Facebook guidelines, as well as another one called the Handbook, which is just really in-depth, about 15 pages of just language and ideas, and it's for people that really want to learn more faster. So go ahead and check that out to get more ideas. Another way to grow your customer base actually faster is to have private business receptions, or PBRs. We call them people building residual. And when you get started, you want to have this within 3 days of getting started so that you can start building that customer base immediately. The more PBRs you have, the faster your customer base grows. And the goal is really to get a whole team of people on board helping to build your customer base with you. You're going to choose a comfortable environment to have your PBR in, usually a home or an office or a coffee shop. You just invite your closest friends and family members, and definitely be excited and urgent when you're talking to them. Use your why, tell them why you are doing what you're doing. Don't explain what you're doing. That's why they're coming to the PBR, to learn more about it. If they continue to ask questions, just refer them to your survey video that we discussed, and edify the expert who's going to be presenting this information for you. Now, some people will have questions for you, and the best thing that you can do is to not answer those questions. Just direct them to the place where they can get a good detailed look or a higher level outline of our business concept and how it all works. Say, that's a great question. I'm really excited. I just watched a webinar and it made a lot of sense. Or I just watched a webinar and it sounded like a lot of fun. Or I just watched a webinar and they're doing a lot of good and making a really big impact. You could also, if it's someone that really is driven or ambitious, I watched a webinar and it's very, very lucrative, and I feel like we can build something massive and create a completely different lifestyle for ourselves. And say, I just watched a webinar. Would you like for me to send you the link? And they're going to say yes or no. If they say no, that's fine. That just means that their timing is not right for them, and they're not open to looking at anything different or anything new or trying something new. If that's the case, then just keep directing them to your online survey and help them to become a customer for you. We have one for the United States. We have one for Canada. We have one that's solely about Project Feeding Kids and how that works. If it's someone that that maybe is very charitable, or would really care more about the charity side, I highly recommend sending them the Project Feeding Kids webinar. Maybe they love helping people, or maybe they just like having fun. That's the webinar that I would send them, because it's very feel-good and it's very empowering and inspiring and motivating. If they're a little more analytical, maybe like an engineer, or if they're very ambitious or hungry or driven, like business owners and other entrepreneurs, I would send them to the US or the Canada Business Outline webinar, where they will hear a top-notch presentation about what we're doing. And it's very simple, it's very straightforward and basic. No fluff, no added anything. It's just, this is what we're doing, this is why it's powerful, and this is how you can get started. Now, when you have your PBR, you're going to thank everyone for being there to support you. You also want to make sure the environment is as
distraction-free as possible. So children are in another room, maybe animals are in another room. And then with your guests, you're gonna explain to them why you got licensed as an essential services broker, and then present them the information. If your leader is not able to present for you, you can always go to the residualteam.com/PBR, and there is a presentation there from Regional Vice President Platinum, Mr. Kurt Ludlow. Give everyone a paper and pen, and as they're watching the information, just ask them to write down any questions or ideas or thoughts they have, and also anyone that they may think of.
And then the people that are there can participate to whatever capacity they want. You know, if they want to get licensed and create a residual income with you and help you build an army, they can do that. Some of them, maybe the timing's not right and they're not ready to get licensed. That's fine. They can help you by becoming a customer, and you can give them some financial relief. But all in all together, now you have a little army of people that know what you're doing and know why you're doing it, and they can help you promote your business and help you get the word out that you're the person to go to for these services. It's very, very powerful when you have a team of people all working together and helping get the word out for you. A lot more can be accomplished when you're not just by yourself. There are additional tools that the company provides for us. Go ahead and pause right here and write down these different resources that we have available for us. When acquiring customers, there are 5 really key things to keep in mind. You want to think long term. So if people are still in a contract, or they're paying off a phone, or there's some type of timing issue, always write down the date when that is up so that you can revisit that person. Remember, everyone can be your customer within 2 years. Also, be resourceful. Learn where to find answers, and be very creative in finding solutions.
It's funny how people will go to work and they'll spend 8 hours of their day solving problems for their boss and making the owner of the company they work for rich, but they don't want to solve problems for themselves and put themselves in a different situation.
Love to practice. It is a numbers game. Timing is everything. You only have to do it your first time once, and from then on, you'll get more and more confident. So if you're feeling a little unsure or hesitant, just keep doing it over and over and over, and you'll get more and more comfortable, just like in any job or career, or really anything that you do. Also, brand yourself. Let people know, this is what I'm doing. This is why I'm doing it. If you or anyone you know ever needs any of these services, please think of me first. You always want to keep yourself in people's minds so that when their timing changes, they come to you. Also, keep it very simple. Don't turn pebbles into mountains. And when you're in your fight for freedom, everything is a pebble. Always remember that our mission is massive residual income, and that is what we work toward every day as we're building our ACN business. All right, and the next step we're going to talk about is building a team of independent contractors. One thing that I've learned, Business 101, is, the more stores that you have, the more customers you're going to have, and that's just the way that it works. And so we're really lucky that we have a model where we're able to build a team of people, and we're actually able to share in all the profits with the team as we train them and as we build it and as we help them build their residual income.
So as you share what you're doing, you're going to attract other people who have really close to the same goals and interests as you. So we want to get them the info using PBRs, the webinar systems, 2-on-1, which is meeting face-to-face, and business overview events. And what you're going to find is that people love what we are doing. This truly is the best income model out there, because think about, where else can they build a phone-based business with global possibilities and have such a low risk to get started, limitless income potential, and success is defined on their own terms instead of someone else telling them what they're worth or how much they'll be able to make.
And when someone is ready to get started on your team, all we want to do is plug them into the same exact system that you were plugged into, meaning help them get launched, help them start acquiring their customers, help them start building their team as well, and plug them into this system and this community that's going to increase their chances of having success. Guys, congratulations. Now you are all set up. You have your IBO number. You now have your IBO number that will be attached to all the accounts that you're able to generate, so they know where to kick the bonuses and commissions to. You now know how to acquire customers. You now know how to start building a team of independent contractors. Now it's time to get trained, and we do offer several different training opportunities. As you can see, we have our group launch call that's every Sunday night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. It's about 30 minutes long. We also have a customer acquisition call that's every Monday at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, and that's about a 30-minute call. Every week we do a different service, so I recommend getting on that weekly so you can hear all the ins and outs of every single service that we have. We also have business overview events in every market, so I recommend getting with the person that got you started and find out where your local event is. All it is after people are able to watch the webinar and see what you're doing, if they might have more questions, or they might even want to be introduced to the community, and they can see what you're doing on a larger scale. They can see, hey, this is a lot bigger than just you and me and our cell phone that I watched a little video on. Like, this is an entire community of millions of people that are out there fighting and making a difference right now. So get them to that business overview event. We also have Saturday strategy sessions in all the different locations, all the major cities. So once again, find out what time and what the location is for your local event. And we also have our international training event. Now, when I was told about the international training event, I was a little wary because I was afraid to take the time off of work. And also it did require, I had to buy my ticket, I had to buy a plane ticket, I had to get a hotel. And the more I thought about it, the more overwhelming it seemed. But my mentor, the person who got me started, said something that forever changed my life. And they told me that there's something magical about being in an environment where there are tens of thousands of people with like minds, with one vision. And I promise you, if you get to this event, you will truly understand the magnitude of what you're involved in, and you will truly understand the vision and the heart and soul and pulse of this company. And it will go from your mind directly into your heart. And from that point forward, you will be unstoppable. And I'll never forget that conversation. And so I made the decision to go to my first international event, and that's exactly what happened. It just became so much more real. I understood finally how special this was and what a special opportunity that we have all together. And I believe that that decision to go to that one event is what has impacted me and influenced everything that's happened since then. And the organization we've been able to build internationally came from the decision to go to that event and to make it happen. I'm going to ask you, if you're going to let something stop you, then what else are you going to let stop you? And you have to just make a decision of how fast you'd like for this to work, and to what capacity you'd like for this to work for you. If you can go to acnreg.com and go to that website, and you can see where it's located. You can see the dates. They have hotel information. They could even help you find flights from where you are to where the event is. So I strongly urge you to take a look at acnreg.com and really decide, make a decision if you want to take that step and see really what's going on with this company. We also have a Facebook group that's a closed group. I've provided the link for you right here. You can see beside the screen. And you go ahead and click that link and just request to join our Facebook page called the Residual Team. It's a closed group, but it will give you access to a lot of resources, and if you have a question, you can always just ask, and the whole team will respond. We also love to recognize people and promote people as they're hitting different positions and reaching different customer point milestones on that page. So we'd love to have you involved with what we're doing as a team and getting all the new updated information as well. On the back of building your ACN customer base, at the very top there's a couple lines where I'd like for you to write your reason why. And what you're going to find is over time your reason why will change. Mine when I first started was I just wanted to be home with my kids and be the primary influence in their lives. And once I was able to accomplish that, it grew, and I wanted to make an impact in my city. And then I began to make an impact in my city, and I wanted to make an impact in this country. And then I wanted to make an impact in the world. And now I want to just pay it forward every single day. It doesn't matter how much success I ever achieve with ACN. I'm not going to stop sharing this plan, and I'm not going to stop sharing my story because it has so deeply impacted me, and I am forever thankful, and I'd like to pay it forward as much as I can. So make sure your reason why is something very strong and something very close to your heart. Maybe to retire a family member, maybe to take a vacation with your family you've never been able to have before, maybe to, it could be really anything. But I urge you not to make it about money, because there are a million ways to make money, but time with family and quality lifestyle and experiences are things that money can't really buy.
All ACN success stories share one thing in common. They all have a drive and a dedication to create the life that they know they deserve. But the first step was deciding to try something. So I want to congratulate you for taking that first step to try something new.
Thank you again for taking the time. We're looking forward to your success. We're looking forward to hearing you share your story. And we're looking forward to the many lives that will be impacted by your decision to take control of your life and to start fighting for freedom in your own life. Thank you again for joining us, and have a wonderful day.